Have you ever wondered if there's like a simple, almost scientific way to get what you truly want in life? Well, today we're going to dive into a method from a guy they called the Millionaire Maker, Earl Schaff. His system was supposedly so powerful, yet so simple, that it transformed thousands of lives. Let's dig in and see how it works. In this quote right here, this is really the heart of his whole message. For him, this wasn't just some nice, feel-good saying. He believed it was a fundamental truth, accessible to anyone who understood the rules of the game. He saw it as a law of nature, not just a wish. Okay, so here's the big idea. Schaff's whole premise was that success, prosperity, happiness, none of it is random. He believed they're all governed by universal laws, kind of like the laws of nature that we deal with every single day. And here's the analogy he used to make it super clear. Just think about gravity for a second, or electricity. They don't care if you're a good person or a bad person, right? They just work. Well, Schaff's point was that the laws of success are the exact same way. They're impartial, they're predictable, and they're there for anyone who figures out how to use them. Okay, but that brings up a pretty big question, doesn't it? If these laws are so real, why do so many of our goals just fizzle out? You know the drill. We all do it. You write down a list of 10 big goals for the new year, and if you're lucky, maybe you hit one or two. So what's going wrong here? Yeah, that whole 2 out of 10 thing, it's just so common, isn't it? It's super frustrating. You set these huge ambitions, you put in the work, but the results just don't seem to line up with the effort. It feels like we're missing a key piece of the puzzle or something. And right there, that's where Schaff's diagnosis comes in. He said the reason for that 80% failure rate, it's not that we're lazy, it's not a lack of effort, it's a lack of understanding. He claimed we're only using a tiny part of the actual law, and that missing piece, well, that's the difference between hitting a goal once in a while and achieving things consistently. All right, so you're probably asking, what is the full law then? To really get this, Schaff used this amazing metaphor, and honestly, it is the absolute key to his whole system. He said, your mind, it operates just like a garden. So check this out. Here's how the metaphor breaks down. Your conscious mind, the part that's listening to me right now, that's the farmer. It's the one that decides what seeds to plant. You want tomatoes, you want weeds, the choice is yours. But your subconscious mind, that's the soil. And it's incredibly fertile soil. But here's the thing, it has zero preference. It will grow anything you plant in it, good stuff, bad stuff, with the exact same dedication. And this leads to a really powerful, maybe even kind of scary takeaway. Your life isn't just something that happens to you. Schoffin's point is you're the one creating it. The job you have, the house you live in, the results you're getting, they all grew from seeds that you planted in your mind, whether you realized you were planting them or not. Okay, so that brings us to the good stuff, the practical, step-by-step process. If our mind really is a garden, then how do we intentionally plant one of these success seeds and make sure, absolutely guarantee that it's going to grow? Well, Schaff laid out a very, very specific 3-step method. So here they are, the 3 steps. Step 1, you define it. You write your goal down on paper with absolute, laser-like, precise detail. Step 2, you plant it. You do this by writing thank you right across that paper, basically accepting it as if it's already yours. And step 3, and this is the one that's super counterintuitive, where most of us mess up, you detach. You put that paper away and you never look at it again. You just trust the process. Now listen, when Schaff said define, he really, really meant define. It wasn't just, oh, I want a new car. No way. You had to describe it perfectly. This right here is the exact description he personally used for a Cadillac he wanted. Look how specific that is. The color, the year, the convertible top, the upholstery, the tires, even the air conditioning. This level of precision, he said, is totally non-negotiable. Okay, so once you've done this, once you've planted that seed correctly, something really fascinating starts to happen. You kind of stop hoping for it, you stop wishing for it. Instead, you develop this calm, powerful feeling of expectancy. You just know it's on its way. Which, of course, brings up a really common question. So let's say you did the whole process for that red Cadillac. A few days go by, you're driving around, and boom, you see one. A red Cadillac convertible, just like you wrote down. What does that mean? Is that just a coincidence? Schaff's instruction on this is crystal clear. He says seeing your goal out in the world is not a coincidence. It's a message. It's like the universe is giving you a little wink and saying, hey, got your order, it's on its way. Your job isn't to question how or when. You don't dig up the seed to check on it. Your only job is to smile and say thank you, and that just reinforces your faith in the whole process. And you know what? This quiet confidence, this feeling of expectancy, it starts to change everything about you. You just naturally become more positive, you have a happier vibe, you literally walk taller. And people notice. You start attracting success, radiating this feeling of prosperity that just brings more good things to you. It creates this amazing upward spiral. But, and this is a big but, there is one final absolutely crucial warning. The whole system, the whole thing, hinges on precision. Why? Because your subconscious mind is literal. It's not intuitive. It doesn't guess what you mean. So if you plant a vague seed, you're always going to get a vague and a lot of times a really undesirable harvest. Schwab had some classic cautionary tales about this exact thing. There was this one guy who vaguely imagined himself on an ocean voyage. And you know what? He got one when he got drafted into the Navy. Then there was a young woman who kept visualizing herself handling big piles of money. She got her wish too. She became a bank teller, handling other people's money all day long. The lesson here is just, it's unmistakable. This law is impersonal. That subconscious soil, it doesn't try to figure out what you meant. It just executes your instructions to the absolute letter. You asked to handle money, it'll make sure you handle money. It's not going to assume you meant for that money to be yours. You have to be that specific. So there it is, the Millionaire Maker's Secret. It's a really simple 3-step formula. Define it with absolute hardcore precision. Plant it with gratitude, and then let it go with total faith. And it kind of makes you wonder, right? If you really could plant a seed for absolutely anything, what's the one thing you truly want that you'd be willing to define with that much clarity starting right now?